Hey there, today we're going to talk about how cold calling works today versus 10 years ago. No doubt about it, marketing has changed and cold calling is no different. And the key thing that we really need to focus on here is understanding that and how to put together a really great cold calling campaign, and then how to manage those people that are actually doing the cold calls. So let's talk through it. I like to break this down into 3 key areas that we can look at getting right and then measuring along the way to get your cold call to success. Firstly, let's start up over here, and that is understanding. When I mean understanding, it's having a greater understanding of who our target market is, what the offer is we're selling, and then the message we're putting out there. Now, if you go 10 years ago, this mattered less. It's like, if you look at Facebook marketing today versus what it was 10 years ago, you put a message out there and people are more likely to resonate. But in order to get this to work really well, whether it is Facebook ads or cold calling, a greater understanding of who your target market is, what their pain points are, and then ultimately presenting that offer or outcome that you deliver, solving that key problem that the target market has, is ultimately what leads you to really good cold call success. So it's no different. You're doing Facebook ads, you're doing Google ads, you're doing LinkedIn, or you're doing cold calls. Understand your target market, and then you want to present in a way that's talking about the offer or the outcome you get that's going to help solve that problem. Now, when you're cold calling, one of the key things is you don't want to ask them or lead with, tell me your problems, or preempting, hey, are you experiencing a decrease in revenue? You want to talk to the positive outcomes that ultimately you achieve, that you already know that's probably going on in your target market's head. Therefore, the more specific you can be with who, the better. Now, engagement is huge these days. So we used to, back 10 years ago, be able to rattle off a script and then ultimately get someone to resonate with that and book them in. However, engagement now, you need to have that two-way conversation. I hear too many cold callers these days that are not asking questions, aren't engaging the prospect, aren't having a tone that's caring about the prospect. They're still reading scripts, and this is where cold call campaigns fall down. Need to view it as a two-way conversation these days. Get permission to deliver the key value proposition. Get them to opt in for you to tell them about why you're calling. If you can do that, then that goes a long way to at least getting them to listen to the proposition that you've got out there. Finally, it's timing. So timing, we need to understand that prospects are so busy these days. We need to understand that they're going to pick up the phone less. We need to understand that they're less tolerant of people on the phone. So we need extremely good EQ here. So we need to know when to speed things up on the phone and where we can slow things down a little bit and take a little bit of time with the prospect. Now, everyone's different, and this is where EQ comes in, understanding where you're meeting a prospect at, and then meeting with speed, with intensity, or vice versa. You can go a bit slower, a bit less intense. Having that, and also acknowledging that, hey, you are interrupting them. Can I have 60 seconds of your time? So when you bring in those sort of things and bringing in, hey, permission to deliver short period of time, understanding they're busy and acknowledging that, and then having the EQ to know when to speed up and slow down, that's absolutely key to really good cold calling these days. Back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, these things didn't matter anywhere near as much as they do today. So if you can get this right, then ultimately you're going to have a successful outbound campaign.